I just finished watching Submarine, which is, and I'm sorry if I butcher his name, but Richard Avadale's second film. For those who, well, it's his first film. This is the second one of his that I saw. And as far as I'm aware, he's only done two movies. The other film that I did, The Double, the 2013 movie, is probably my favorite comedy. And, it's his other film that I just finished watching, Submarine. It's probably also in my top 10 favorite comedies. It's really well done. Just like all of his other films, it has a similar vibe to The Double, which I feel if he did more movies, it could become a similar signature to like Wes Anderson, how all of his movies are kind of storybook. And it feels like every writer-director kind of has their thing, like a specific thing that all of their movies share, that kind of tie them all back to each other, and that make it so that if you even just watch one scene from either movie, you would, and you're aware of the writer-director, you would instantly be able to recognize it, regardless of how well you remember the film or films. And yeah, I loved it. I thought it was really good. I don't know if it's quite as good as The Double, in my opinion, though it's definitely more universally likable, and some of its parts are outstanding. The only criticism I have of the film is I felt it could have used a better third act, because The Double had a fantastic third act to it. But that flaw is not even very much of a flaw, because we still got a decent third act out of the film. I thought it was a really good movie. The comedy is very well executed. The main character, I've always felt that the writer-director, his main characters are immensely relatable to me personally. Because, like, you feel like you understand the characters wholly that he does. Like, you understand everything about them. You understand the comedy that comes from them. You understand the drama. You understand how they work. And even when the characters are huge jerks and do awful things, you still find yourself relating to them and the harsh truths that they portray. And I find all their characters immensely likable. There's just something about these movies that are so well done. And I gotta say, he's one of the most promising directors I've seen out of the last 10 years, up there with Villeneuve. And yeah, I really hope he does a third film, because I would love to watch more. So yeah, what else is there? Oh yeah, the movie has a very cynical type of humor, occasionally dark, always quirky, and the movie's fantastically edited, acted, directed, written, and yeah. The editing choices also kind of remind me a little bit of Edgar Wright, just like the quick movements and like of the camera and quick cuts and everything, and it adds to the comedy really well. And there's a lot to like about this movie. And one of the things that I can't commend this rare director enough for is that this movie, Submarine, even though all the main characters are kids, apart from the parents and a couple of other side characters, he somehow manages to make the kids not feel annoying like in all the other films, and instead make them feel human and relatable, and yes, still deeply flawed, but at the same time, like, they're so likable and charismatic. And part of it comes down to how it was written and acted, which kind of gives off a bit of a Yorgos feel, like The Lobster. That's probably the director that he's closest to, I would say. So, if you ever like The Double, or if you ever like Yorgos' style or Wes Anderson, I'd recommend giving Submarine a go. It's great.